Good evening. Welcome to the Business Day. I'm Herman Green. Carreras is urging the government to quickly secure the island's ports. Managing Director Marcus Steele argues that the prevalence of illicit cigarette trade is proof that unwanted and dangerous products can still find their way on the Jamaican market. Mr. Steele was responding to a proposal by U.S. President Donald Trump to ban all e-flavored cigarettes, e-cigarettes that is, after damning findings showed that the products have led to 8 deaths and has left over 500 people sick. TVJ's Andrew Laidley has the details.
The world grappling with news that electronic cigarettes may not be as healthy an alternative to smoking as many thought. Jamaica's ganja stakeholders adding to the conversation, urging the government to be vigilant. The major concern, the possibility that Jamaica could be used as a market to dump the products which at least 2 U.S. states have already banned. Carreras' managing director Marcus Steele now highlighting that Jamaica's greatest vulnerability to the vaping issue is at the ports.
It's coming through the ports. And to the extent that we do not strengthen the controls at the ports, we are going to have a problem, whether it is cigarettes or other products that are not intended to be sold here. We are going to have that problem.
He says he isn't worried about the impact on Carreras, pointing out that vaping is outside of the company's core business.
I'm not expecting any major fallout in terms of us losing market share in our combustible business to any of the vaping products that could be diverted from the United States into Jamaica.
However, Mr. Steele is still urging the government to strengthen legislation around the importation of e-cigarettes.
To the extent any repercussion coming out of what is happening in the United States or elsewhere in the world, to the extent that it becomes part of our problem in terms of products coming here, I would expect that the regulation that governs the importation of such products will be enforced.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, has activated its Emergency Operations Center in response to e-cigarette use. Andrew Laidley, TVJ News.
The U.S.-based National Pork Producers Council, NPPC, is urging Jamaica to open its markets to American pork. The NPPC is a trade association representing U.S. pork producers and other industry stakeholders. In a letter to U.S. trade representatives on Friday, the council encouraged further work with Jamaica to obtain greater market access. The letter said American pork is exported to more than 100 countries in any given year, and the U.S. typically is the world's largest exporter of pork, but barriers in Jamaica prohibit virtually all U.S. pork. The letter explains that some of Jamaica's restrictions are based on unwarranted claims regarding the pseudorabies virus, PRV. The NPPC argues that the U.S. hog herd has been PRV-free since 2003. The council further argues that there is no scientific evidence that supports Jamaica's claim that the disease can be transmitted to hogs through raw pork. And we go now to currency trading. The day ended today with the US dollar selling for $135.80. The Canadian closed at $102.83. The pound is now selling for $167.96, while the euro closed at $150.11. On the stock market, the JSE index lost 3,616 points today. The junior market index declined by 50 points. Among the winners were Sterling Investments, Jetcon Corporation, Medical Disposables and Supplies, T-Tech, and 1834 Investments. On the losing side were Express Catering, Everything Fresh, Epley, The Lab, and Pulse Investments. And that wraps up the Business Day. I'm Herman Green. Good evening.